The DEA kicked in Meech's door at dawn, took his product, his cash, his soldiers. 3 days later, the lead agent was found bleeding in an alley. Detroit doesn't forget disrespect. It's viisi. 47 a.m. The sun isn't up yet. Detroit is still asleep. Except for the 12 federal vehicles rolling silent through the east side, headlights off, engines low. They stop 3 blocks out. Radio silence. The trap house sits on Greenlawn Avenue, a 2-story brick structure with bars on the windows and a reinforced steel door. It looks like every other house on the block. That's the point. Inside, 4 soldiers are counting money. 2 more are bagging product in the kitchen. It's routine. Quiet. Controlled. Then, the door explodes inward. Federal agents down on the ground. Flashbangs pop white and loud. Voices scream over each other. Boots hit hardwood like hammers. The soldiers freeze. Hands go up. No shots fired. No resistance. This isn't a war. It's a business. And the soldiers know the rules. If the feds come, you take the charge. You don't talk. You don't run. You wait for the lawyer. They drop to their knees. Cuffs click tight around wrists. The lead agent steps through the smoke. His name is Agent Colin Driscoll. He's DEA, 12 years in, Detroit born, and he's smiling. He walks through the house like he owns it, kicking over chairs, flipping tables, ripping open cabinets. His team tears through closets, pulls up floorboards, empties drawers. They find what they came for. 6 kilos of cocaine in the basement. $83,000 in vacuum-sealed stacks behind the water heater. 3 handguns. And a ledger handwritten, coded, but readable enough. Driscoll holds it up like a trophy. Got you, he says. One of the soldiers, a kid named Ree, maybe 22, stares at him from the floor. Doesn't say a word. Doesn't blink. Driscoll crouches down next to him. You know what this is? Driscoll taps the ledger. This is the end of BMF in Detroit. You tell Meech I said that. Ree doesn't respond. Driscoll smirks. Oh, you're loyal. I respect that. But loyalty don't mean shit when you're doing 15 in federal. He stands, waves his team forward. Bag it. All of it. I want photos of everything. The house is stripped clean. Cash, drugs, phones, notebooks, even the furniture, everything gets cataloged, photographed, loaded into trucks. By 7:15 a.m., the block is swarming with news vans. Driscoll doesn't avoid them. He walks right up to the cameras. Today, the DEA dealt a significant blow to the Black Mafia Family, he says, badge glinting under the morning light. This organization has poisoned Detroit long enough. We're taking them down piece by piece, and we won't stop. A reporter asks, do you consider BMF dangerous? Driscoll laughs. Dangerous. They're wannabe gangsters playing dress-up. We just walked into their spot like it was a corner store. They're finished. The clip runs on every local station by noon. It spreads online by 2 p.m. By 4 p.m., it's reached Big Meech. He's in Atlanta when he sees it, sitting in the back of a blacked-out Suburban, phone in hand, watching the news clip on repeat. He doesn't flinch, doesn't curse, doesn't throw the phone. He just watches. Then he sets the phone down. His lieutenant, Blue, is in the front seat. You see it? Blue asks. Meech nods. They got the spot on Greenlawn. Took Ree and the others. 6 bricks. 83 bands. That's replaceable, Meech says quietly. Yeah, but the disrespect. I saw it. Silence fills the car. Blue turns around. So what we doing? Meech looks out the window, watches the city move. Cars, people, life continuing like nothing happened. Nothing. Meech says. Blue blinks. Nothing? Not yet. Meech. This nigga on TV calling us. I heard what he called us. Meech's voice doesn't rise. It stays level, calm. That's what makes it heavy. But we don't move on emotion. Meech continues. We move on principle. And principle takes time. Blue doesn't argue. He's been with Meech long enough to know when Meech goes quiet, That's when you should be afraid. Not for Meech, for whoever's on the other side. Back in Detroit, Agent Driscoll is celebrating. He takes his team out for drinks that night. They toast the raid, toast the seizure, toast the beginning of the end for BMF. Driscoll feels untouchable. He's a federal agent. He has the law behind him. He has the badge, the authority, the power. But power is a strange thing. Sometimes, the people who think they have it are just borrowing it. And in Detroit, there's only one name that holds real power. It's not on a badge. It's not in a courthouse. It's whispered in trap houses, barber shops, and back rooms. It's respected. It's feared. It's Big Meech. And Meech doesn't forget. He doesn't forgive. He just waits. The news cycle moves fast. But in Detroit, stories don't die, they echo. Agent Driscoll's face is everywhere. Local news, radio, blogs, social media. He's doing interviews like he's running for office. Channel 7 catches him outside the federal building the next morning. Agent Driscoll, there are reports that BMF has deep ties in Detroit. Are you concerned about retaliation? He laughs. Not a nervous laugh, a cocky one. Retaliation? From who? A bunch of street dealers with jewelry and rap videos? He shakes his head. BMF is a myth. It's branding. We just proved that. They couldn't even protect one house. The reporter presses, but they've operated for years without. Without what? Getting caught? Driscoll leans into the mic. That ends now. We've got their drugs, their money, their people. And trust me, we're just getting started. He walks away smiling, confident, intouchable. That clip plays in barbershops across the city. Guys watch it in silence. No one says much, but everyone feels it. The disrespect. It's one thing to get raided. That's the game. That's the risk. But to go on TV and mock the name? To call BMF a myth? That's different. That's personal. In a basement off 7 Mile, 3 men sit around a folding table. One of them is Knockout, a BMF enforcer who's been with Meech since the beginning. He's 34, quiet, respected. He doesn't talk much, but when he does, people listen. He watches the interview on his phone, watches it twice. Then he sets the phone down. This nigga think he untouchable, one of the other men says. Knockout doesn't respond right away. He just stares at the table, thinking. He's fed, the second man adds. They gonna protect him. Knockout nods slowly. Yeah, they will. So what we supposed to do? Just let him talk? Knockout looks up. We don't do nothing, he says. Not unless Meech says so. Meech in Atlanta. I know where Meech is. The room goes quiet. Knockout stands, grabs his coat. Y'all stay ready. But nobody moves until the word comes. He leaves. The other two sit in silence. They know what's coming. They just don't know when. Meanwhile, word spreads through the BMF network like smoke. Every lieutenant hears about the raid. Every corner captain sees the interview. And everyone asks the same question. What's Meech gonna do? But no one gets an answer. Meech's phone stays quiet. No calls. No orders. No rage. Just silence. And that silence is louder than any threat. By the second day, Driscoll is still riding high. He's at a federal task force meeting downtown, briefing his superiors on the raid. We hit them hard, he says, standing at the front of the room with a slide projector behind him. 6 kilos, 80, 3,000 in cash, 4 arrests. This is the beginning of a larger operation. His supervisor, Agent Warren, nods but doesn't smile. Any blowback? Warren asks. Driscoll shrugs. From who? These guys aren't soldiers. They're dealers. They fold under pressure. We've already got one of them talking. Which one? The kid. He's scared. Lawyers pushing him to cooperate. Warren leans back in his chair. You sure about that? Positive. We'll have him flipped by the end of the week. Warren doesn't look convinced, but he doesn't push it. Just be smart, Driscoll. Don't get cocky. Driscoll smiles. I'm not cocky, sir. I'm confident. There's a difference. Warren waves him off. Driscoll walks out feeling like a king. That night, He goes home to his apartment in Southfield. It's a quiet neighborhood, gated, safe. He parks in his assigned spot, grabs his gym bag from the trunk, heads inside. His phone buzzes. A text from his partner. "Good work today. Drinks tomorrow?" Driscoll replies, "Hell yeah, first round's on me." He showers, makes dinner, watches SportsCenter, goes to bed around 11. He sleeps like a man with nothing to fear. But 12 miles away, in a house off Gratiot, Knockout sits at the same basement table. His phone buzzes. A text. No name, just a number he recognizes. It says, "Quiet work, no noise, no names." Knockout reads it twice, then deletes it. He looks at the two men across from him. "It's time," he says. They don't ask questions. They just nod. Agent Driscoll doesn't know it yet, but the clock just started. And in Detroit, when Big Meech starts counting, time runs out fast. Big Meech didn't build BMF overnight. It wasn't luck. It wasn't recklessness. It was discipline. Every move calculated, every risk measured, every dollar accounted for. In a world where most hustlers burn out by 25, Meech built an empire that stretched from Detroit to Atlanta to Los Angeles. And he did it without becoming a headline. That was the key. Stay quiet. Stay clean. Stay respected. Let the music do the talking. Let the lifestyle speak. Let the streets tell the story. But never let your name become a punchline. Meech is sitting in a penthouse suite in Buckhead. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the Atlanta skyline. The city glows beneath him, cars moving like blood through veins, lights flickering like a heartbeat. He's on the phone with his brother, Southwest T. "You see the news?" T asks. "I saw it. This fed Wilden. He really went on TV and I know what he said." Silence. T knows his brother, knows when to push and when to pull back. "So what you thinking?" T asks carefully. Meech doesn't answer right away. He's looking out the window, watching the city move, thinking about how far they've come. From the streets of Detroit to penthouses in Atlanta, from corner boys to kings. But kingdoms don't stay standing if you let people disrespect the crown. "You remember what Pops used to say?" Meech asks. T pose. "Which part?" "About respect." Tay exhales. He said respect ain't given, it's taken. And once you got it, you protect it. Because the moment you let someone take it from you, you lose everything. Exactly. Meech turns away from the window. This nigga didn't just raid a house. He didn't just take product. He went on TV and told the world we're nothing. He called us wannabes. He laughed at our name. "So we handle it," T says. "We do, but not like animals, not like corner boys with something to prove." "Then how?" Meech sits down on the leather couch, phone still pressed to his ear. "We handle it like kings." BMF was never just about money. It was about legacy. Meech understood something most hustlers didn't. The streets don't remember how much you made. They remember how you move. Did you fold under pressure? Did you snitch when it got hot? Did you let people disrespect you and walk away? Or did you stand firm? Did you protect your people? Did you make sure the name meant something? Meech built BMF on that principle. Every soldier knew if you're loyal, you're protected. If you're family, you're fed. If you're BMF, you're untouchable. But that protection came with a cost. You don't embarrass the family. And more importantly, nobody embarrasses the family and walks away clean. The next morning, Meech makes a call. Not to Knockout, not to Blue, not to any of the enforcers. He calls J-Bo, one of the oldest members of BMF. J-Bo is 41. Been in the game since the 80 seconds. Survived the crack era. Survived the Fed raids. Survived the wars. He's not flashy, doesn't wear jewelry, doesn't post online, doesn't do interviews. He just works quietly, efficiently. Meech trusts him more than anyone. "You heard?" Meech asks. "I heard. What you think?" J-Bo doesn't hesitate. "I think this Fed made a mistake." "Big one?" "The biggest. He don't know who he talking about. He think BMF is just a name. He don't understand what it means." Meech nods. even though Jabo can't see him. So what we do? We remind him, J. Bo says simply, how? The same way we always do. Quiet, clean, no mess, no noise, just a message. And if it gets loud, it won't. Not if we do it right. Meech trusts that. Jabo has never been loud. He's never been sloppy. He's a ghost, and ghosts don't leave evidence. Handle it, Meech says, already moving. The line goes dead. That afternoon, Meech sits in a booth at a private restaurant in Midtown Atlanta. He's meeting with Big Kato, one of the BMF DJs who's been with them since the beginning. Kato handles the public side, the parties, the events, the celebrity connections. He's the face people see. Meech is the power people feel. You good? Kato asks, sliding into the booth. Meech nods. I'm straight. You sure? Because word on the street is, I know what word on the street is. Kato leans back. People asking questions, Meech. They want to know if we gonna respond. We always respond. Yeah, but how? Because if this get messy, it bring heat. Fed heat. And we ain't built for that right now. Meech looks at him. You think I don't know that? I'm just saying. Kato. Meech's voice doesn't rise, but it cuts. Kato stops talking. I built this from nothing, Meech says quietly. I didn't build it by being stupid. I didn't build it by moving off emotion. I built it by being smarter than everyone else. I know. So trust me when I say this is already handled. You don't gotta worry about the how. You just keep doing what you do. Keep the parties going. Keep the name clean. Keep the lifestyle loud. Let me handle the rest. Kato nods. He knows better than to push. Meech finishes his drink, stands, drops 200 on the table. Stay ready, Meech says. Then he's gone. Back in Detroit, Knockout is in a car with two men. They're parked outside a diner on Woodward Avenue, watching, waiting. One of the men asks, "We sure about this?" Knockout doesn't look at him. We're sure, because if this go wrong, it won't. How you know? Knockout finally turns his head, because Meech don't miss. The man goes quiet. They sit in the car for another 20 minutes. Then, Knockout's phone buzzes. A single word. Go. He starts the engine. Agent Driscoll is finishing his shift at the federal building. He's tired, but satisfied. Another day of progress. Another step closer to dismantling BMF. He walks to his car in the parking garage, keys in hand, mind already on dinner. He doesn't notice the car parked 3 spaces down. Doesn't notice the engine idling. Doesn't notice the 2 men watching him through tinted windows. He gets in his car, starts the engine, pulls out of the garage. The other car follows. Not close. Not obvious. Just there. Day 1. Agent Driscoll wakes up at 6:15 a.m. Same as always. He showers, makes coffee, checks his phone. 3 missed calls from his partner. He calls back. Yo, you see the news? His partner asks. What news? They're running your interview again. You're blowing up, man. People are calling you the face of the BMF takedown. Driscoll smiles. Good. Let them. We earned it. Just be careful, all right? Don't get too comfortable. I'm a federal agent. I'm always careful. He hangs up. Drives to work. Parks in the same garage. Walks into the same building. Everything feels normal. But 12 miles away, in a basement off 6 Mile, 3 men are studying a map. Not a street map. A schedule. Driscoll's schedule. Where he parks. Where he eats. Where he works out. Where he lives. Every detail cataloged. Every movement tracked. Knockout sits at the head of the table, arms crossed, eyes locked on the paper. He's predictable, one of the men says. Most people are, Knockout replies. So when we move, we don't. Not yet. Why not? Knockout looks up. Because rushing gets you caught. Patience gets you paid. The men nod. They've learned not to question Knockout. He's been doing this too long. Too clean. We watch him for 2 more days. Knockout says. We learn every corner he turns, every light he stops at, every person he talks to. And when the moment's right, we move. And if he switches it up, he won't. Feds get comfortable. They think the badge protects them. Knockout stands, folds the map, tucks it into his jacket. It don't. Day 2. Driscoll is feeling even better. His supervisor called him into the office that morning and told him the U.S. Attorney's Office is interested in building a larger case against BMF. They want Driscoll to lead it. This could be career-defining, Warren says. You take down BMF, you're looking at promotions, maybe a transfer to D.C., maybe more. Driscoll tries to stay humble, but inside, he's already picturing it. I won't let you down, sir. I know you won't. Just stay focused and stay safe. Driscoll nods, but he's not worried about safety. He's a federal agent in a bulletproof vest with a Glock on his hip. Who's gonna touch him? That night, Driscoll goes to the gym, LA Fitness on 12 Mile. He's there 3 times a week. Same time, same routine. Chest and arms tonight. He works out for an hour, showers, heads to his car. The parking lot is half empty. Streetlights flicker overhead. He unlocks his car, tosses his gym bag in the back, climbs in, starts the engine, checks his phone. A text from a girl he's been seeing. You coming over tonight? He smiles, types back. Qui me traite? He pulls out of the lot. Doesn't notice the black Chrysler 300 parked in the corner. Doesn't notice it pull out 10 seconds after him. Doesn't notice it follow him for 6 blocks before turning off. Inside the Chrysler, Knockout sits in the passenger seat. The driver, a young kid named Rollo, glances over. That's him, right? That's him. You want me to? No, not yet. When? Tomorrow. Rollo nods. Knockout pulls out his phone, sends a text. Confirmed. Same route, same time. Ready to move. 3 seconds later, a reply. Clean. Knockout deletes both messages. Day 3. Driscoll wakes up confident. Today's the day. The U.S. Attorney's Office officially greenlights the expanded BMF investigation. He's got a meeting at 10 a.m. downtown. He showers, gets dressed, checks himself in the mirror. Suit sharp, tie straight, badge polished. He looks like a man who's winning. And he is. Or at least, he thinks he is. At 9:47 a.m., Driscoll walks out of the federal building after the meeting. It went perfect. The U.S. Attorney loved the pitch. They're moving forward. Full task force. Multi-city operation. Driscoll's name is all over it. He calls his partner. We're in, man. Full green light. Hell yeah. Drinks tonight? Absolutely. I'll hit you later. He hangs up, feeling untouchable. He decides to skip lunch at his usual spot and grab something near the office instead. A deli 2 blocks down. He walks. It's a nice day. Sun out. Breeze cool. Detroit almost feels peaceful. He orders a turkey club, eats at a table outside, scrolls through his phone, reads an article about the BMF raid, sees his own name in the headline, smiles, finishes his sandwich, walks back to the office. At 6:30 p.m., Driscoll leaves work. He's heading to the gym again. Same routine. Same time. Same parking lot. He drives with the windows down, music low, phone connected to Bluetooth. He's on the phone with his mom. Yeah, Ma, everything's good. Work's going great. I might even get promoted soon. That's wonderful, baby. I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Ma. I'll call you tomorrow, all right? Be safe, Colin. Always am. He hangs up, pulls into the LA Fitness parking lot, parks in his usual spot, 3rd row, near the side entrance, grabs his gym bag, locks the car, walks inside. An hour later, he's done. Chest and arms. Good workout. He showers, changes, heads back to his car. The lot is darker now, fewer cars. He's one of the last ones out. He walks toward his car, keys in hand, mind already on the drinks he's about to have with his partner. He unlocks the door, tosses his bag in the back, climbs in, starts the engine. And that's when he sees it. A car pulling up behind him. Not fast, not aggressive, just blocking him in. Driscoll frowns, puts his car in reverse, waits for the car to move. It doesn't. He honks. Nothing. He rolls down his window, leans out. Yo, you gonna move or? The car door opens. Two men step out. Driscoll's hand instinctively moves toward his hip, toward his gun. But before he can reach it, the passenger window shatters. Everything happens fast. Hands grab him, pull him out of the car. He tries to fight back, but there's too many. 3, maybe 4. He can't tell. They're fast, precise. They don't say a word. No threats, no questions, no speeches, just action. A fist to the ribs, a knee to the stomach. He hits the pavement hard, tries to reach for his gun again. Someone kicks it away. He tastes blood, feels his badge ripped off his belt, feels his gun taken from the holster. He tries to scream, but a hand covers his mouth. And then a voice, low, calm, right next to his ear. You said BMF was finished. Driscoll's eyes go wide. You said we were wannabes. The voice doesn't rise, doesn't get angry. It stays calm. And that's what makes it terrifying. You don't know who you're talking about. A pause. Then, now you do. The men disappear. No sirens, no witnesses, no evidence. Just Driscoll, lying on the pavement, bleeding, his badge gone, his gun gone, his confidence gone. The call comes in at 8:42 p.m. Detroit PD dispatch receives it from a security guard doing rounds at the LA Fitness. I got a man down in the parking lot. Looks like he's been beaten. He's conscious, but he's in bad shape. Can you identify him? He says he's federal. There's a pause on the line. Say that again? He's DE. Name's Driscoll. Within 15 minutes, the parking lot is flooded. Squad cars, ambulances, unmarked federals. Crime scene tape goes up fast. Agent Warren arrives before the ambulance even leaves. He finds Driscoll sitting on the back of the rig, paramedic shining a light in his eyes. Driscoll's face is swollen, blood dried on his lip, shirt torn, ribs bruised. But he's alive. Warren approaches carefully. Colin. Driscoll looks up. His eyes are distant, shaken. What happened? Warren asks. Driscoll doesn't answer right away. He just stares at the ground. Colin, talk to me. Who did this? Driscoll's jaw tightens. I don't know. You don't know? I didn't see their faces. How many? 3, maybe 4. I couldn't. His voice cracks. Warren crouches down in front of him. Did they say anything? Driscoll hesitates. That's when Warren knows. Colin, did they say anything? Driscoll closes his eyes. They said, BMF. Warren's face hardens. They mentioned BMF by name? They said I didn't know who I was talking about. Warren stands, looks around the parking lot. No witnesses, no cameras pointing at the right angle, no shell casings, no weapons, just a message. The paramedics want to take Driscoll to the hospital. He refuses. I'm fine. Sir, you need to get checked out. I said I'm fine. Warren pulls the paramedic aside. Let him go. I'll make sure he gets looked at. The paramedic reluctantly agrees. Warren walks Driscoll to an unmarked car, helps him into the passenger seat. They sit in silence for a moment. You can't tell anyone about this, Driscoll says quietly. Warren looks at him. What? The press, the department. No one can know. Colin, you're a federal agent. You were assaulted. We have to. No. Driscoll's voice is firm now. If this gets out, I'm done. You understand? I'm the guy who went on TV and said BMF was finished. And now I'm the guy who got jumped in a parking lot. I'll be a joke. Warren exhales. He knows Driscoll is right. In law enforcement, perception is everything. You can't be the guy who got touched, especially not by the people you're trying to take down. We'll keep it quiet, Warren says finally. But we need to investigate. We need to find who did this. Good luck with that. What do you mean? Driscoll looks at him. You really think they left evidence? You think anyone's gonna talk? This was a message. Clean. Professional. They wanted me to know exactly who did it without leaving a single trace. Warren knows he's right. The investigation starts immediately. But it goes nowhere. No fingerprints. No DNA. No witnesses. The security cameras at the gym, conveniently angled away from Driscoll's parking spot. The few people who were in the lot didn't see anything, didn't hear anything. One guy said he saw a black car pull out fast, but he couldn't give a make or model. Dead end after dead end. The feds interview people in the area, knock on doors, pull traffic cams, run facial recognition on nearby footage. Nothing. It's like ghosts did it. 2 days later, Driscoll is back at work, but he's different, quieter. He doesn't do interviews, doesn't talk to the press, doesn't brag about the raid anymore. He sits at his desk, files reports, avoids eye contact. His partner notices. "You good, man?" "I'm fine." "You sure?" "Because you've been—" "I said I'm fine." His partner backs off, but everyone in the office can feel it. Driscoll's not the same. The confidence is gone. The swagger is gone. He's just going through the motions. Meanwhile, word spreads through Detroit, not through the news, not through official channels, through the streets, barbershops, corners, trap houses. Everyone hears the same story. The Fed who talked shit got touched. No one knows exactly who did it, but everyone knows why. And everyone knows who gave the order. In a house off 7 Mile, Knockout sits at the kitchen table. His phone rings. He answers. "It's done," a voice says. "Clean. Spotless. Good." Knockout hangs up. He lights a cigarette, leans back in his chair. He doesn't feel proud, doesn't feel excited. He just feels steady. This wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about violence. It was about respect. And respect, in this world, is currency. You protect it, you defend it, you make sure people know it's not for sale. Knockout takes a drag, exhales slowly. His phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. "Good work." He knows who it's from. He doesn't reply, just deletes the message. In Atlanta, Big Meech is sitting in his penthouse. Same view, same city, same calm. His phone is on the table in front of him. He's not checking it, not waiting for updates. He already knows. Southwest T walks in. "You hear?" Meech nods. "It's handled." T sits down across from him. They saying the Fed's scared now. Won't even talk to the press. Meech doesn't smile, doesn't celebrate. He just nods again. "Good." "That's it? Good?" Meech looks at his brother. "What you want me to say? We did what we had to do. Now we move on." But people talking, Meech. They saying BMF untouchable now. They saying, "Let them talk." Meech stands, walks to the window. "We don't need to say nothing. The work speaks for itself." T watches him. "You ever worry this'll come back?" Meech doesn't turn around. Everything comes back eventually. That's the game. But we don't move out of fear. We move out of principle. And what's the principle here? Meech finally turns. Respect. He lets the word hang in the air. You disrespect the family. There's consequences. That's not negotiable. That's not up for debate. That's law. T nods slowly. "All right." Meech walks past him, headed for the door. "Where you going?" I asks. "Out. I got a meeting." "About what?" Meech pauses at the door. "The future." And then he's gone. Back in Detroit, Agent Driscoll sits alone in his apartment. Lights off, TV on, but he's not watching it. He's just sitting, thinking. His badge is on the table in front of him. They gave it back after the assault, but it doesn't feel the same. It used to mean something. Authority, power, protection. Now, it just feels like metal. He picks it up, stares at it, thinks about the voice in his ear. You don't know who you're talking about. Now you do. He sets the badge down, realizes, for the first time, that he was never in control. He thought the law made him untouchable, but the law only works when people respect it. And in Detroit, there's only one name people truly respect. Not because of a badge, not because of a title, but because of what that name represents. Loyalty, power, legacy. Big Meech. The federal investigation dies quietly. No press conference, no arrests, no closure, Just a case file that gets buried in a drawer somewhere, marked insufficient evidence. Agent Warren tries to keep it alive for a few weeks. He pulls strings, pushes informants, leans on witnesses, but no one talks. The streets go silent the way they always do when real power is involved. Witnesses suddenly don't remember. Security footage mysteriously gets corrupted. Informants stop returning calls. It's not fear, it's loyalty. And loyalty in Detroit runs deeper than any federal case. 3 weeks after the assault, Warren sits across from Driscoll in a downtown diner. Coffee's cold. Neither of them is drinking it. "We're closing the investigation," Warren says. Driscoll doesn't look surprised. "I figured. I'm sorry, Colin. We did everything we could." "No, you didn't." Warren looks up. "Excuse me?" Driscoll leans forward. "You didn't do everything. You did what was safe, what was clean, what wouldn't make waves." "That's not fair." "It's the truth." Driscoll sits back, crosses his arms. "You know who did this. I know who did this. The whole city knows who did this. But no one's willing to say it out loud, because saying it means going to war. And the Bureau doesn't want that war." Warren doesn't argue, because Driscoll's right. Going after BMF, really going after them, means resources, time, risk. And the federal government doesn't commit to wars it's not sure it can win. "So what now?" Driscoll asks. "Now you heal. You move on. You focus on cases we can win." Driscoll laughs bitterly. "Move on." "Right." He stands, tosses a 10 on the table. "I'm done, Warren." "Done with what?" "This, Detroit, all of it." "You're transferring?" "I'm requesting it. D.C., New York. I don't care. Anywhere, but here." Warren nods slowly. He doesn't blame him. Driscoll walks out of the diner, doesn't look back. By the end of the month, Driscoll's gone. Transferred to a field office in Ohio. Smaller cases. Quieter work. No one in Detroit talks about him anymore. He's not a hero. He's not a villain. He's just gone. Erased. Like he never existed. Meanwhile, BMF doesn't just survive. It thrives. The raid that was supposed to cripple them, it did the opposite. It proved they were untouchable. Soldiers who were on the fence about joining, they sign up. Dealers who were working independent, they fall in line. The name BMF doesn't just mean money anymore. It means protection. It means if you're with them, no one can touch you. Not the streets, not the feds, not anyone. 6 months later, Big Meech is in Miami. Art Basel weekend. The city is flooded with celebrities, athletes, artists, and BMF is everywhere. Private yachts, VIP sections, penthouse suites. Meech moves through it all like royalty. Not loud, not flashy, just present. People know who he is without him saying a word. He's at a party on South Beach when his phone rings. He steps outside onto the balcony, away from the noise. "Yeah? It's J-Bo. You see the news?" "What news?" "That Fed, Driscoll. He resigned." Meech doesn't react. "When?" "Last week. Took a job in the private sector. Security consulting or some shit." Meech looks out at the ocean, watches the waves roll in, steady and endless. "Good for him," Meech says. "That's it? What you want me to say?" J-Bo chuckles. "Nothing, I guess. Just thought you'd want to know. I appreciate it." Meech hangs up. He stands on the balcony for a few more minutes, thinking, not about Driscoll, not about the raid, about legacy, because that's what this was always about. Not revenge, not violence. Legacy. Meech didn't build BMF to be the loudest. He built it to last. And the only way something lasts is if people respect it. Not fear it, not hate it. Respect it. Fear fades. Hate burns out. But respect? Respect is eternal. It gets passed down. It gets whispered in barbershops 20 years later. It becomes legend, and legends don't die. They grow. Back in Detroit, the story of Agent Driscoll becomes exactly that. A legend. It's told in hushed tones at corner stores, in basements where young hustlers gather, in trap houses where old heads reminisce. The story changes depending on who's telling it. Some say Driscoll got beat so bad he couldn't walk for a month. Some say he begged for his life. Some say Meech was there personally. None of it's true. But that's how legends work. The truth doesn't matter. What matters is the lesson. And the lesson is simple. Don't disrespect Big Meech. Don't disrespect BMF. Don't disrespect the family, because if you do, the streets will remember, and the streets never forget. Years later, a young kid named Dre is sitting in a barber shop off Grand River. He's 17, hungry, trying to figure out how to make it in the game. An old head named Tone is cutting his hair. "You ever hear about the Fed who came for Meech?" Tone asks. Dre shakes his head. "Nah." Tone smiles. "Let me tell you something, young blood. Back in the day, there was this DEA agent. Cocky. Thought he was untouchable. He raided one of Meech's spots, went on TV, talked all kinds of shit. Said BMF was finished. Said they were wannabes. What happened?" Tone stops cutting, looks at Dre in the mirror. 3 days later, they found him in a parking lot, beaten, badge gone, gun gone, respect gone. Dre's eyes widen. "For real? For real. And you know what the craziest part is? What? Nobody got arrested. Nobody snitched. Nobody even talked about it. That's power. Young blood. Real power ain't about how loud you are. It's about how quiet you can move and still make the whole city feel it." Dre sits back in the chair, processing. Meech did that. Tone grins. Meech didn't do nothing. He didn't have to. That's the point. When you built something real, when you got real loyalty, you don't gotta get your hands dirty. The streets handle it for you. He finishes the cut, dusts Dre off, spins the chair around. "You want respect in this game? Don't be the loudest. Be the smartest. Be the one people trust. Be the one they loyal to. Build something that lasts." Dre nods slowly. He's never met Big Meech. Probably never will. But he understands now. It's not about the money. It's not about the cars or the jewelry or the fame. It's about legacy. It's about making sure that years after you're gone, people still say your name with respect. Still tell your stories. Still follow your blueprint. That's immortality. That's Big Meech. Somewhere in Atlanta, Meech is sitting in his penthouse. Same view, same city, but everything's different now. BMF is bigger than it's ever been. The music is charting. The parties are legendary. The brand is global. But Meech isn't celebrating. He's just thinking about how far they've come, about what it cost, about what it means. His phone rings. "It's T. You good?" "I'm good." "You sure?" "You been quiet." Meech smiles. "I'm always quiet, bro." T laughs. "Yeah, you right. Anyway, we got that event tomorrow. You coming through?" "I'll be there." "Be it." Meech hangs up. He walks to the window, looks out at the city. The lights, the movement, the endless hustle. He built this, not with violence, not with fear, with vision, with loyalty, with respect. And that's something no raid, no Fed, no case can ever take away. Because respect isn't something you have, it's something you are. And Big Meech, he is respect. The story of Agent Driscoll fades. But the story of Big Meech, it's just beginning.